so I want to try to keep it simple. And I'm making you guys servants of vampires, kind of like a Renfield in a way, only less creepy because you don't have to eat bugs or anything like that.
Unless you want to be that creepy.
Unless you, okay, that you have free license to be a bug eating freak if you want it. That's your business. But essentially, you're making mortal servants of vampires who have, through one means or another, been indoctrinated to their will. Who your little vampire lord is will depend on the kinds of things you decide on for your character creation. And I'm going to try to simplify things a little bit for you. And I'm just going to offer up, you can come up with your own ideas, of course. But essentially what's happening is the main characters being these two guys for today and other character players when they happen to be here or feel better. Are a part of a ring of vampires called the Watchmen. And the Watchmen have taken it upon themselves to eliminate government agency and vampire hunters that are infused throughout the University of Toledo. All of this game takes place in Toledo, Ohio. And so that's what they're doing. And your vampire lords are going to be involved in this as like supervisor type people. And they're sending you guys in to help basically figure out who these people are and then get rid of them in the most quiet and non-attention getting way as humanly possible. Your vampire lords are part of a conspiracy that's lasted for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years.
So we're like clearing the path so our vampire lords can do what they want.
Yes, so that they can take over that territory. They used to control that territory some time ago, and they want to take over that territory because there's tons of blood to be had over there. And vampires have existed in secret throughout human history, and people didn't know about it. You guys are a part of this conspiracy that helps keep them secret and to keep them kind of in power, which they assure you is the best way to make sure that humans society goes along unmolested and that you get to survive. They get to survive. So it's going to be assumed that you guys are going to be competent at something that will help with this type of situation. That being said, good backgrounds that you could come from are academia. Like you could be like involved with the school and things that are going on in school, at least, maybe not presently, but maybe in the past. You could be involved with law in some way, either a lawyer or a court reporter or reporter or something like that, to where you know legal situations really well. That could be helpful. And it would give you a lot of access to like social abilities, things like that. You could have a medical background, mostly because there is one really big NPC in this who is involved in a medical field. He's a medical guy.
NPC is a non-player character.
Thank you. I've been running games for a long time, so I forget people don't know these things because they're a part of my everyday language now. So, essentially you can have whatever kind of background you want. Those are some solid suggestions for you. And then it's assumed that you're going to be fairly competent at something within the arena that will help with this. Okay. And we're just going to kind of eyeball it and make some characters as we go here. And then you can bump your ideas off me. And if you're making something that's just completely like not fitting and wrong and not good, I'll let you know and we can work on it and guide it into something that's more interesting. But you're just creating a character just like you would create a character for a TV show or a novel or a movie.
Yeah, I do screenwriting,
So,
son of a biscuit.
literally, this is group screenwriting.
I predict by the
Basically
end
what
of
this turns
by the end of this, she will be telling me stuff.
Yeah, right.
So, the first thing you're going to start with is just a general concept or idea about the character. Did any of those things that I mentioned speak out to you guys, or do you have any ideas about somebody that you think would be good in a super covert spy story?
I like the academia idea, or especially like a librarian or a historian or
Okay.
Somebody who has all the background, kind of like
Okay.
Giles, but
Like a Giles
Better.
character? Okay.
Buffy fan. By the way.
yes. I like being the one who knows things.
Okay, yeah, so you could get involved in a bunch of academia stuff. Would you want to be somebody who was specifically involved in the University of Toledo itself? Or just like somebody who's real knowledgeable who could pop in and be able to comment about a whole bunch of different subjects?
Let's go for wandering, pop in.
Okay, cool. All right. I'll tell you more about this character as we go, but your like vampire patron or leader, for lack of a better term, it's going to be Dr. Pedroza. So write that down somewhere. He is no longer professor. He is doctor now.
Fair enough.
Dr. Nicholas Pedrosa.
Nicholas Pedroza. What about you, Tosh?
Not me.
Yeah, I know. Well, since I was medical last time, I'm not going to do medical. I'll do
Okay.
No way.
lawyer-ish. No way.
Totally.
Lawyer.
Awesome.
I'll
Okay.
do lawyer stuff. Legalities.
So you're coming from Mr. Dakota, I assume?
Yes. Your
Mr. Dakota.
patron is Dakota Ward.
Dakota
Dakota
Ward.
Ward.
Dakota Ward is his
Okay.
name. He's a rather young guy.
Okay.
He actually is an alumni from the University of Toledo.
Okay.
He played football,
Of
college
course
football.
he did.
But then he switched into law and he practices law now.
Okay.
Being a vampire didn't really go all that well with being a football player.
No, probably not.
He became a lawyer before he became a vampire.
There you go.
So it was sucking.
It was just a
gonna
situation
say, so
where
he
it was
was a
like,
bloodsucker
I'm not
before
going
he
to go
started sucking
pro,
blood.
so
natural
you know.
transition.
Yeah, natural transition into from lawyer to vampire. So is he like a partner in the practice or something, or
Not anymore.
not anymore? Okay.
No. He can't really function legal, as a lawyer, seeing as how he can't go to court.
True.
In the daytime.
And
So
he's-
that's why I
and
do it
he's
for
dead.
him.
Exactly.
Got it.
There you go.
Got it.
Okay. So your character creation summary is on 136. It's going to be modified a little bit.
This feels like a new book.
It kind of is.
I feel like I'm gonna break it. I'm all.
It feels good. It feels bad. So.
That is the
Yeah.
bookmark for the character creation page.
You said 136.
Yes, that I got for you.
Awesome.
So you would find it easily.
Thank you.
What a nice guy.
I like it. Do you do tarot?
Yeah, I do tarot a lot.
Speaking of tarot cards, I have to tell you. Side note. Sorry.
Side story. This is what you get when you listen to character
I know.
creation.
I'm so sorry.
This is what character creation is really about.
I
Yeah,
know.
do it.
So,
Hanging out
because
with your
Alan,
bros.
so Alan does. I know Alan does tarot cards and stuff like that. And I was at Barnes and Noble with a unit for military. I took him to Barnes and Noble. This was probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, and one of them bought RuPaul drag queen tarot cards.
Whoa.
And I thought of you, and I was
That's
like, and
awesome.
because I hadn't seen you in a while, I was like, I need to tell Alan about these cards.
Alan's like, I need
Amazon
Yes.
wish
That's kind of
list.
awesome.
Yeah,
Get it
yeah.
right.
They had all sorts of all kinds of tarot cards, but when she
There's all
bought
kinds of
those-
stuff. I know there's all kinds of stuff
Yeah,
out there.
but when
when
he,
Oh,
but
whoa,
when
whoa,
she
don't,
bought,
don't buy him. Christmas is coming up.
I'm not buying them. I'm putting them on the wish list so I
Yeah.
don't forget them.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
but yeah. So I thought of you, and I was like, I need to tell Alan this. And so as soon as you said tarot, I was like, oh wait, sorry, 6 degrees of separation. It reminded me.
Wow.
Not even 6. That's
Well,
like
not even. It's like
a degree
one.
of separation.
Yeah. But yeah, they're RuPaul drag queen. Yeah, see, you found them.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And then when I told the doctor, the psychiatrist, when we came back, I said, hey, you need to ask him about his tarot cards. And he's like, really? And I said, yeah, I'm not going to tell you what they are. He's like, are they appropriate? I said, oh, yeah, they're totally appropriate. I said, it's just funny to think of tarot cards this way.
Yes. Yes.
And so
yes.
when he asked, his face was like, yes, let me show you. And he like ran to his room and he brought it out. And I see the doc going, because Doc is like this super conservative old white guy, like
Yeah,
maybe in
yeah.
his 60s. And he's looking at him, he's like, interesting. It just made me laugh. Yeah. So I thought you
It's
would
funny to see.
appreciate that.
I started funny to see those old white dudes like that, the kind-hearted ones.
He's super
that are
nice and
like
compassionate, yeah.
this isn't bad, but I really don't get it.
Yeah, that's why he's like
To watch that
interesting.
contrast in their
Yeah.
mind is just hilarious, dude.
Yeah.
They're just like,
And it makes me laugh.
What?
It
What?
it makes me laugh because before he became a psychiatrist, he taught all about the brain and neuroscience and all that
Oh,
stuff. So
yeah,
he's a super smart guy.
Super,
but
yeah.
but sometimes it's just so funny to watch him. He's like, interesting, nice. He's like, what are you gonna do with them? He's asking like how.
yeah, he's
gonna
leaning
use
into the
them.
psychology of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have some good ideas about our character concepts here. Well, hey, you know what? Let's live vicariously a little bit and get to know our other characters. What was your character concept, John?
My character concept was I wanted to play a smart guy who's recently completed his doctorate in physics. Thus Rayansh Khurana was born. He is the palest Indian man you know. Or he is dead. And that was kind of, you know, the last character I played in Vampire was kind of a more physical, and he was like a physically imposing and a socially imposing guy. And I wanted to play something that was kind of a little bit of the opposite of that. I wanted to play someone that had a lot of book smarts and a little bit of wiliness to him. So he's a little wily and a little crazy. But yeah.
And some of that probably grew a little bit as you started making him, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's fun, like, as you begin to conceptualize a character, the twists and turns that, I mean, you write screenplays.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the way they grow as you're creating a character. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that was kind of where I started. I was like, well, he needs mental stats. And he needs social stats and physical, whatever, they're fine. He's not going to be duking
So
it
you're
out.
Kevin, only Indian.
A little bit.
Okay.
And also Malkavian,
Well, yeah.
which means I'm a little bit.
Something we
Yeah,
will get to.
okay. Yeah,
We'll get to that.
we'll get to that. Yeah.
Yes. There you go. And then I'm playing Pablo, who's a script kiddie, basically. He was a teenager, basically, who lived in a poor family, but like really got into computers in school and figured out how to get through it. And that kind of became his power that he like didn't get in the rest of his life. And so
His hacker skills.
yeah, right. Figuring out how to get in and learning
Yeah.
people's secrets and then using those secrets to like try to get somewhere.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what he did
Okay.
before getting turned into a Nosferatu, which is
A
Oh.
thing we
Pretty.
will get into.
Yeah.
pretty nasty looking dude now.
Yeah.
But you don't have to see that. Don't worry.
So how old are you technically? Like when you were turned, you're still
So,
a teenager, or are you younger?
Not probably older than that at this point.
Not much though.
Not much though.
So
yeah,
like
no,
early
so
20s or something.
Probably very
Okay.
early 20s.
Okay.
yeah.
Ray is apparently 27, and he is actually 28. So
Yeah, we
we're
haven't been
pretty
there
young
that
as
long.
far as vampires
Okay.
go.
Yeah.
Super young.
Okay. So just like recently been turned.
Super young.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
What is baby vampires?
Huh? That's right.
Baby
Yeah.
vampires.
So I am playing
Strange concept.
We're just talking about what your original character
Usually
concept.
vampire
Yeah, I know.
babies.
Cool.
Jake Testaverde, JT, who is a
Sounds like a
Reform-
drug lord.
reformed. Well, he was a hitman for the Italian mob
Oh, there you go.
and did 10 years in prison and decided to go straight when he came out. Only
It didn't.
his plans were averted by some asshole who turned him into a vampire.
Okay.
And
Those jerks.
rather than going along with it, he continued on with his plans to go straight and completely turned against the people that turned him, switched sides,
Yeah.
and now fights against these people,
Okay.
these so-called anarchs, etc., which
Which
we'll get into.
we'll get
Whatever.
Okay.
But
Jokes.
anyway, he owns a nightclub and makes every effort to keep the nightclub completely above board and straight. That's kind of like his obsession,
Yeah.
is to keep his neighborhood clean and to keep his club clean.
I rent a crappy apartment.
All right, so you got a bunch of attributes there at the top of your sheet. In those, there's 9 of them. You'll see 3 of them are physical attributes, 3 of them are social attributes, and 3 of them are mental attributes.
Which one's?
I have both of them say
Yeah, I
social.
have physical, social.
Yeah, the
Whoa.
sheet's wrong.
That should be
Interesting.
Misprint.
mental. Okay.
I'm assuming the intelligence
You're
is
gonna-
Yes,
Yeah,
I was like,
you're
I'm
right.
pretty sure that's mental because I looked at it. I was like, wait a minute, they both say social. I know the
Yeah.
difference, but
The weird thing is, that's the same sheet I'm using, and it says physical, social, mental.
yeah,
You must have
no.
gotten an older version.
You got
Physical, social,
there's an
social.
unedited version you got a hold of.
I guess
somehow.
so.
That's fine. I changed it to mental. I know.
Yeah, it's all
It's no big deal.
The social breakdown begins.
Yes.
Oh wait, no, mental breakdown begins.
Yeah, right. There was no mental.
Dad jokes. Okay, so
But
do all of those words underneath those attributes make sense to you?
Questions about any of them?
Is manipulation your ability to manipulate others?
Yes.
To do what they don't want to do.
And composure is keeping your composure and
Keeping yourself together.
even in
keeping-
stressful situations.
Not losing your mind.
Not having people push you around.
Stressful or patience with people who are socially inept too.
Yeah.
And remembering things under stress, that kind of thing.
So pick one of those attributes.
one of those categories.
No, one of the attributes.
Oh.
It's not categories in that.
It's not categories.
That's right. That's right.
It's different
now.
So pick one of those attributes to be your best one.
One of any of the 9.
One of any of the 9.
Don't worry, there'll be more points later.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to think. As a lawyer, I probably want.
Something social. Manipulation, I would
I'm
think.
going back and forth
Well,
between
either
intelligence
manipulation or
and wit.
wits.
Yeah, true.
Because, I mean,
Yeah.
I say intelligence.
The intelligence is kind of your power attribute, and then the wits is kind of your finesse or control.
yeah.
Coming in with like the librarian too, though. Resolve is a lot about being very patient with what you're like studying and looking
Oh,
at,
okay.
and
So
understanding
how do
Really,
too.
the
So
easy way to
That would be
also
really strong too.
pretty strong option.
The easy way to think of it is under physical, everyone has strength, dexterity, and stamina, which is strong and quick and tough. And all of them are socially strong, quick, and tough.
Yeah.
And mentally strong, quick, and tough.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go for mentally tough.
So that is somebody who can
So how many do we
track
fill
down
in?
every lead, go over the evidence again and again
Yeah.
and again and again and again.
That sounds like me.
Yeah, and this
4.
version you're not going to
Four
get.
in that
You will get
points.
4 dots in the one that you pick.
Yeah,
Fill in
you'll
4.
just yeah.
Just 4 dots in the one you pick.
yes.
You get 4.
As a lawyer.
You will get several 3s as well, so
Yeah.
don't be too worried.
Lawyers manipulate.
They do indeed.
Highest in manipulation makes perfect sense.
Okay, now look at all of them and decide which one is your worst.
Dexterity. I sit in office all day.
Straight to physical.
Yeah.
Either dexterity or stamina. I'll say dexterity.
So glad
You
you're
get
matching
1 in
T.
the
We ain't
one
gonna
that-
have
whichever one
nobody
you
to beat
choose, you get
nobody.
1.
And the worst one we think.
Your
Yeah.
worst one.
Okay. Yeah. We'll do dexterity too. I may get eaten. But that's okay.
It's fun.
You're mortal. Whatever.
So
That's why I know. That's why I'm like, let's go. Let's do something the complete opposite of what I actually am. Dexterous.
then you can pick 3 of them and make them at a level 3.
Okay. So pick 3 and put 3 dots.
So 3 at 3, yeah.
Okay. Well, obviously, I gotta be somewhat smart to be a lawyer. I gotta be charismatic. Along with my manipulation. And I wanna go with wits.
Mentally quick on your feet, yeah?
You gotta be in a courtroom.
Yep.
Now, what's the difference between charisma and composure? Charisma's like charm.
Charisma is your ability to charm people, the presence of your, affect
personality.
and your personality, whatnot. And then composure is your ability to not have your emotions swayed by situation.
Okay.
Like not break down in social situations, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Like to withstand interrogation.
Yeah. To withstand
Easy
annoying
cheesy.
people at parties.
Yes. To withstand.
Peer pressure. Somebody trying to pressure you into doing something, right? You know? Buy my Amway crap. No.
Absolutely
I would say there are situations at work that require a high composure.
I would say so too. Yes.
So all the ones that you have left, there should be 4 left. You get
Yes.
2s and all those.
Choose
and
not
the
this.
rest. Okay.
Isn't there one you're supposed to have one in?
Yeah, we
They
already
did that already.
Best, worst, and then
Oh, okay.
3s and
Yeah.
2s.
Was I sleeping?
I found it does. It's not listed that way in the book. but
It's a
that's-
great way to do it.
But that's the way to do
It
it.
makes
No,
sense.
it's simple. It's
Yeah.
simplistic.
It's
It's
that's the
easy
way
to
to do it
Yeah.
because
Best, worst.
if you go through it the other way, you end up thinking about which one's going to be your worst as you go.
Anyways.
Yeah, yeah.
Best to just get that out.
So down below that, you will have your health and your willpower. So the way that you mark these off is you want to have.
Here.
Yeah, I
You looked confused.
Oh, they
so-
moved. Okay. It's in a different sheet. Okay.
I'm probably going to look confused a lot.
That's okay.
No, they moved.
Yeah.
His sheet is the standard one.
Yeah,
And they normally run underneath.
I don't know
the-
why.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
You see,
Use
and that's the
those.
point. So the way you notate these is you want a number of boxes open equal to the amount that you should have. So you should fill in all the boxes that you don't need, so that you've got empty boxes for all the amount that you should have. Okay?
Okay.
And the amount of health that you should have is equal to your stamina plus 3.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So I should have 5 open boxes and 5 closed boxes.
Yes.
so
I
to
would color
speak.
them all the way in
Okay.
so that you're not confused about which ones you're using.
Open is good. Closed you don't have. Got it. You said stamina plus 3.
That's correct.
Okay. So 5. Okay.
And your willpower is equal to your composure plus your resolve.
So if I have 7, I black out 7.
You black out 3.
3, so I have 7 open.
7
You
open.
want 7 open
Ooh,
boxes.
she's got a lot of willpower.
She has a lot of willpower.
I do not. I'm like, screw you guys. I'm doing my own thing.
No, we got to move on from this.
Yeah.
Objection!
I don't have any
Objection!
patience for this.
Objection!
Overruled. Denied.
No patience.
Yeah. Crap. And we're human, so how does humanity work with us?
Your humanity will end up a 7. But don't do that yet.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, so now look at your skills. You will have several different categories of skills, much like you have categories of attributes.
The ones underneath go
Yep.
in that. Got it.
Yep,
Got it.
yep.
Oh,
Which
gotcha.
makes it way
Okay.
easier than the other game.
Yeah. Makes it tons easier.
Way easier. So, you will get 3 skills out of 3. So mark your 3 that you like the best, and you will get a 3 at all of those.
3 of the whole group altogether.
All of them.
Okay.
Yeah. If you have questions about any of them, of course, because there are many words that aren't.
Many words
Obvious.
that many people don't always use.
What's melee?
Melee is the use of hand-to-hand weapons.
Okay.
Sticks, knives,
6 and stones.
whips. The whips suck, but
Swords.
You
swords,
said 3 at 3.
tire irons.
Yes.
3 at 3.
3
Yeah.
at 3. Okay.
Put object in hand used to strike another.
Hitting people with things. Is
I like
what
a
it
good
is.
old bar stool. It's pretty good.
So I'm our Tasmanian devil student then. Just hit everything.
Actually, that would be brawl.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because
Okay, yeah.
because that
She does
student-
just come out swinging.
Yeah,
and
she doesn't use things.
God
she-
help you if you.
Yeah, if you're not
run away.
using your stuff, then you're using
Yeah.
fists. You're
Just
using brawl.
hand to hand,
Yeah,
okay.
that's hand to hand. This is hand to hand weapons. It's new.
Okay.
Maybe intimidate.
But I want to be a martial arts specialist. Brawl. It's brawl.
It's brawl.
Yeah.
It's brawl.
Okay.
It's if I'm not mistaken, it's an old French word, melee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got your 3 3s?
No, not yet.
So
She's
when,
like, no, not.
It's a lot to choose from.
Hold up, man.
Oh, you want investigation for sure if you don't have it already. For
Yeah,
your
I
current
did.
concept you're describing,
Okay.
investigation, academics, you want those.
Awareness. Are you talking about situational awareness? Like you can read the crowd, you know what's going on.
Hold on.
Double check and make sure.
Let me
It
look
might
at-
be supernatural awareness.
Yes.
Oh.
Can I have it?
No,
can I-
it's just
It is.
it's any kind of awareness.
All right.
So just your ability to be aware and pay attention to what's going on around you.
Can I be academic and a little bit witchy?
I don't see why you can't.
Awesome.
Witchy.
Oh, do you want to talk
She
about it?
said Giles. I mean,
Yeah.
I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
hear her? I heard you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have occult concerns?
Because I'd like to know, I'd like my character to know both, like the traditional literature says, but then
Wait,
other ancient cultures
The
say.
wacky books.
The wacky book.
do you know Chelsea? I bet she knows Chelsea.
She knows Chelsea.
Maybe.
Chelsea comes in all
We're
the
gonna
time.
find out.
Asks some weird questions, but you're like, yeah, good questions.
So yeah, this character can kind of be, for the most part, whatever you want.
Okay.
If you tried to make like a SEAL team member, I would say that's probably a bad idea.
SEAL team member.
Yeah.
It's not that kind of.
I want to make a SEAL team. No,
No.
no.
Oh.
You're making the wrong guy.
I'm gonna
He's
be,
a great guy. I'm sure you
Yeah.
can make
You
him.
have 12 more
Alright.
things you can
We're
spend points
playing.
on.
We're
I know.
playing wacky Akira.
Don't get too
game.
worried.
All right, I'm gonna be a sniper.
No, that doesn't match.
Don't do that. No, don't do
That
that.
doesn't match.
Sorry, Brian. That was low.
That means he's remembered with levity.
Yes.
You know what's dumb is because of video games and movies, people have this idea of what snipers are that is completely wrong.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's so true. Everything I learned about those dudes, they do a whole lot of waiting forever.
Yeah. They
Forever.
they still sit in the field for 2 days and take one shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'd think snipers have high dexterity. Nope, their high status resolve.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Well, yeah.
Wait. Keep waiting. Wait.
Wow.
Okay. So you guys got your 3 threes.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So you now have 4. Oh, pardon me.
5.
You. Where am I? Yeah, 5 skills at 2.
Okay.
Drive, is that like driving or like
Driving cars. Yeah.
driving cars?
Driving cars
Okay.
And motorcycles.
and
tanks.
trucks.
And tanks.
Anything that can be driven.
Anything that can be driven.
Trains, planes,
I guess.
Not planes.
automobiles.
Is there a pilot skill? I don't think there's a pilot skill.
No.
Oh, I
The
guess
piloting is outside of the scope of this game
Got it.
completely.
if you're flying, you're doing
So you said 5 at 2.
he goes, I want to play a fighter pilot.
5 at 2.
5 at 2, okay.
Yeah,
I
5
want
at
to be
2.
a fighter pilot sniper.
It's a sniper pilot.
Yes. A sniper fighter.
I'm gonna shoot at him from long range with my rifle while I'm piloting.
There we go.
Reasonable.
What's craft?
Making things.
And you'll choose a very particular
Like
thing when
weapons?
you take that.
Thing? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it could be making weapons.
Well, if you just put points in it, it's just in general, but like, we'll talk about special
You can
here in a
choose.
minute.
Yeah, you,
Okay.
You do special
Yeah, it's just making stuff.
subterfuge
Okay.
is like
So, like, a carpenter will have craft.
making up
A
a good
welder
story.
will have
subterfuge
craft.
is like
Oh, okay.
kind of criminal shape.
That's
Okay.
subterfuge. Yeah.
Probably don't have.
Yeah, subterfuge is.
No, if you're a lawyer, subterfuge would probably be
There's
something.
Oh yeah,
Subterfuge.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Subterfuge
Oh,
is
it's
right up
strict-
your
Yeah, yeah.
alley.
Subterfuge is
Street
more
lights right
lying.
up your alley,
Larceny is
too.
a little more tearing stuff open. It should be.
Yeah, larceny is thieving and stealing.
I don't have any over here.
What is that? That doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. See, like,
What?
put a page number right there.
Mm-hmm.
Just put it there.
Hey, you know what? Before you start griping about this book, let us remember the D&D
There's one
5th
here.
edition Player's Handbook.
Yeah, let's
What are you looking at?
remember.
What's wrong?
Oh, just looking. So this is the summary that we're following.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, oh, I want to know what the skills are. Let me go find them. Well, there's
Oh,
no
the
page
to
number.
tell you. That would be smart.
I'm like,
yeah.
well, it must be right up front. No, it's not.
No,
No, it's not.
Is performance like social performance?
Here we go.
Or
it's putting on a show.
Okay.
Should I put leadership or street?
So giving a speech is performance. Acting is performance. Singing is performance. Playing instruments is performance.
Insight, persuasion, streetwise, and subterfuge.
Pretty much anything where a relatively large group of people are watching you.
Okay.
So that begs the question, though. Like, you want to be the law person? Do you want to be like the person that's knowledgeable about law, or like an actual trial lawyer? Because if you're an actual trial lawyer, you'd want dots and perform.
Yeah.
But if not, then you don't need that at all. Like, it is.
Well, and you know, there's
limited
like
in
different
skill
lawyers
set.
have different approaches too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, I would. I mean, what we talked about, he can't go to court, so I'm the one that does all of his.
Yeah.
I mean, we work together, but I'm the one that's the face of the team.
Mr. Ward.
Mr. Warren.
So
is,
what can humans do that vampires can't?
Walk around in the daytime,
That's about it.
Okay.
yeah.
I'm just on that line of
eat food,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. that's
thinking like what
not
would
look like vampires.
Yeah,
make
on,
me a
so-
more valuable human.
Yeah,
not
to-
look like vampires on
The
thermoptic
vampire.
cameras.
Being able to research during the during
Yeah.
the day. Yeah.
Vampires can do that, but they have
takes
to,
effort.
They have to browse
For
the
what?
blood to do it.
To eat.
No, to
Browse the blood.
not show
Oh,
up.
yeah,
on,
yeah.
To not show up on
Or
thermoptic
to
cameras.
eat.
Got
or
it.
to drink.
Yes. Or
Really
walk
the-
by a mirror and not show up.
Really, the only thing that humans
certain
can
ones.
do that
Only certain
vampires cannot is
There,
go
there,
out in the
there,
sun.
there's
Yeah.
there's
Okay.
no vampires that don't show up in mirrors.
No, there are not.
There are not.
I don't know what you're talking
There are
about.
not.
Oh, okay.
That's
That
not
you know of.
a
That's
thing.
fine.
There are not.
I have no idea what you could be referring to.
Not a thing.
Yeah, but then do I take it out of academics and put perform?
Well,
Also, you guys aren't married to this.
Yeah.
You know, we're not
Mm-hmm.
inputting this into a computer,
Well, yeah.
so you can
I mean, I'm fine.
you can alter these things as you go. Okay, and
no,
then you will get
There's going to be a ladder, and we're going to rank against each other.
Uh-huh.
No.
and then you'll get 7 skills
Fight to
at
the
one.
death, right? Hunger Games style.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
7 at 1.
At one.
Okay. Well, then I can
Oh
put
God.
1 and
Okay.
perform.
Yeah. You got wiggle room.
Yeah. Leadership. I thought.
Having a dot in a thing is very valuable.
Yes,
Like, the difference between having no dots and 1 dot is huge.
Yeah.
big deal.
So 1, 2.
And most of the time, you will have like a 2 in one of your attributes, and if you don't have a skill, you're rolling 2 dice, and at that point, it's not it's almost impossible. Not impossible, but you have to roll very high if you want to succeed at a normal
Yeah.
action.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? You don't have to deal with the beast constantly haranguing all your skill rolls. That's fun.
No.
Oh, yeah.
That's really nice, actually.
Hunger dice? What are those?
I don't care.
What is survival like in reference? I mean, I
Being
know what
out
it
in
means.
the woods, building fires, building
Being able
shelters,
to-
finding food,
Got it.
cleaning water.
Okay.
Where do you poop?
Yeah. Got it.
Where don't you?
Not
go?
where you get your water.
Yes.
That would be a survival roll to know that. Really
Well,
easy
I
one.
would. You
I
need.
watch a lot of
It's a
Naked and
gimme.
Afraid.
You need survival to know that.
I love that show.
It doesn't
I
necessarily
have a
have
lot
to be
of
in the
clients
woods
that
too.
like that show.
Yeah,
too.
skills
Yeah.
work 2 ways. One way they work is they give you dice to achieve rolls, but they also just justify information
Yeah.
being known to you. Yeah. So there's some times where it won't be like really dramatically appropriate to roll something,
Yeah.
but we might look at your skills and say, "What is your skill in this?" Oh yeah, you've got a lot of that. You know that, or you don't have a lot of that. I'm not telling you anything. You know.
You have none of that, you know nothing.
And what is stealth referring to?
Sneaky, sneaky.
Sneaky, sneaky. Okay.
The thing Alex did when he was little, when he snuck into the kitchen
And ate all the bacon.
and ate all the bacon.
Got it.
Also,
Avoiding attention.
like 2 pounds. all bacon.
Raw?
No, it was cooked.
Oh,
Nice.
No, it was
It's like-
cooked.
It was nice, thick cut pepper bacon.
Yeah.
We were sitting literally in the other room with but a wall between us, not even a door. There was even a pass through in the wall. He just snarfed it all down. And how when he was really little, he snuck into the kitchen in the middle of the night and
Yeah.
climbed up the drawers and was playing
With
with,
the
knives.
knives, yeah.
In his defense, it was bacon.
Yeah. It was bacon.
And it
Yes.
was knives.
you make
It
that.
And the rest of us had
Only
no
you.
bacon.
That's a you thing.
Knives are cool, man.
Are animals involved in this game much?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
They can be if you want them to be.
If you'd asked that in our Dark Ages game, I'd have laughed.
Yes.
Yes, a lot more probably.
Yeah, it's more.
It's-
It's a bigger deal in the Dark Ages game.
It's also a bigger deal if you're a vampire.
It's a
Yes.
bigger deal if you're a gangrel.
Yeah.
What's the difference between stealth and subterfuge?
Subterfuge is just lying and deceiving and manipulating people when you're talking to them. Stealth is like,
Being unseen.
Where-
and unheard.
Unnoticed.
where is he?
Okay.
Being unfound.
Okay.
He's not in the grocery store. I looked.
I was just in the library. No one's in there.
He wasn't there.
Okay.
You got him?
Yeah,
so.
so be it.
All right. Real quick, you go through and to the left of the word of the skill, put a check mark next to the skills academics, craft, performance, and science.
Craft and what? Which one?
Performance and science.
Okay.
Okay, so all of these skills are relatively broad. And the skills that you've just checked off, you're going to receive something called a specialty, which is means that within that skill, there's one particular smaller aspect of that skill that you're really good at.
Okay.
All of the skills that you checked off are naturally skills that you kind of have to have a specialty in.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're going to get a specialty in all of those for free.
Got it. Even if you don't have a dot?
No, only
No, only if you have a dot.
Okay. Got it.
Oh, so I should have a dot in those four.
No, not necessarily.
If you have a dot
If you have
and
a
it's
dot,
checked,
you get a specialty.
Got it.
Okay.
Like I didn't put a dot in craft, so I don't care to make stuff.
So you don't
Okay.
have a
Yeah.
yeah.
That's fine. I got dots
Okay,
in the other
okay.
three, so I'm
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, me too.
So write in your specialty on the line next to the skill.
How,
Oh, like we just choose?
their
Yeah.
list?
Oh,
or,
dang.
it is a word, whatever makes sense to you. Certain a narrowness of it.
I have a performance specialty of role playing games.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There is a list we can read from.
So
in
if I
here,
just
some
put
suggestions.
That list sucks.
Next to performance, if I just put court, that means
Hell yeah.
Well, like I
Okay.
have a specialty. The specialties I have: intimidation. I have implied threats.
Okay.
I have a persuasion specialty in gaslighting.
oh, geez, of course you would.
And like I have a streetwise specialty of knowing who the real bad guys are, like the real like hard cases.
My investigation.
As
As opposed to
opposed
some
to-
dumb kid with a bag of weed.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a brawl specialty in dodging, much to the night beast's chagrin.
Yeah.
That poor guy.
Poor Night Beast.
He's like, I want to fight. I'm like, no, I'm just gonna wreck your ego.
You made an enemy doing that too.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's alright. He likes me.
He doesn't super hate me. He just doesn't like me.
Laws, court.
No, he pretty much hates you.
Okay.
Specialty
And then after you've picked those specialties for the ones you happen to have, you're going to pick one skill of your choosing that you get a free specialty in. Which is why these guys are listing all these wacky skills that they have specialties.
Got it.
Wait, is that a part of it?
So we
that I
pick
didn't
one
know?
that we have at least
Yeah.
one dot in and put a specialty in
didn't
that
actually
one.
do
Okay.
You didn't do that?
No.
Well, there you go. It's a good thing we're revisiting all this
Yay.
then.
I don't.
Yeah,
You get a free
ideally, you'd want
specialty.
something that's like character defining for you.
Well, and you should have got additional
That's easy, though.
specialties from possibly from your
Oh, I got those.
predator type and stuff
He
like
got
that.
those.
I got those. I didn't realize we got a
Which would be
specialty
a
somewhere
good
for
one.
free.
Specialty.
Wait, I'm sorry. So I did the ones with the check marks, and then we choose how
Pick
many?
any skill you want, and you get a free specialty in that skill.
On just one skill. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking either that one or maybe that one.
What's the word they use?
Who?
I think an intimidation specialization would be great. Or you can have an intimidation specialization in the threat of the book.
Oh, throw the
Or,
book
you
out.
know,
Yeah.
as a lawyer, you know, it would be a good one. It'd be like investigation and finding loopholes,
Yeah.
Loopholes. Yeah.
something like that. Like legal loopholes.
Mm-hmm.
Although it may be more beneficial to have a specialization in a skill that you don't have a bunch of dots in.
That can be beneficial too.
Like politics. Because I do know a lot of politicky people
Sure. What would your specialty in politics be?
bullshitting.
That was brilliant. What you just did.
Actually, the specialty I think would be BS detector.
Yeah, I could tell if people are bullshitting me. I'd be like, okay, I'll go along with it for now.
Are they politicians? They are.
Yes, but exactly how?
That's true.
Yeah, that's
That is true. And especially because it doesn't just apply to politicians. Like politics, that can also apply to like the politics of the vampire clans and the Camarilla and the all that garbage.
or
Yeah.
you know, the university.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I just put BS, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what that means.
As long as you know what it means,
Yeah.
you got it.
Only in your case, BS stands for bullshifter. Bull sifter.
Bull sifter.
You can rummage through the BS and find the truth.
Okay, I'll do that.
Something like that. I'm imagining this scene where you find this character sheet 10 years from now and you're like, BS, Bachelor of Science. Why did I have this?
No, I'll go
doubt
with
it.
I would go
I
straight
highly doubt it.
for Bull Shark on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Bullshit.
BS
I doubt it.
detect. No, I'll know exactly what that means.
Okay, you guys got all done?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so the only real thing left for you is your humanity. Your humanity will be a 7. However, your humanity works backwards from the other 2 that you just did.
So we
So you want to fill in a number of squares equal to your
to 7.
humanity.
Okay.
Got it.
Fill in 7. That's important.
Because if we erase those, that means we have less and less humanity.
Yes,
Got it.
yes.
You can't exactly be lost to the beast since you're not a vampire.
Well, yeah.
But you can still be like a sociopathic a-hole.
Well, of course. I know how to act that way. I see it quite often.
We know plenty of
You
Okay.
do that all the time.
Here's a bag with some dice. Make sure you get yourself some dice here.
Oh, look, some dice.
There's dice in here too.
It's like you played Vampire
That one's
before.
little.
Those are special dice.
Oh,
Different.
I mean, you can use them. It just won't matter for you. It matters for us.
got it.
Don't use them.
Don't
Yeah,
use
the
it.
red,
Don't use them.
That's fine. I got purple
pick
over
a
here.
set.
Yeah,
You have your blood dice, right?
pick the one you like.
Yeah, I like blue.
Okay, so here's how this game works. You will get asked at various times. Most of the time, we just narrate and talk about what we're doing and whatnot. And then
You'll like
every once in a while, if you're facing something challenging where we're not sure if you're going to be successful or if the story would be more interesting if we leave it up to chance, we will roll the dice. And when you roll the dice, you will add one of your attributes with one of your skills.
Okay.
And I'll tell you which one based on the situation.
Oh, just like last.
Just like the previous game. Yeah, just like V20.
There's a difference that he'll get to.
Yeah, I'll get to it. And I'll typically pitch, I think it should be this, and I've got the final say. But if you're like, hey, I feel like I'm trying to do this, and I think it makes sense, then we'll do that. It's not a big deal. They're all interchangeable. You don't have to match social with social and physical with physical and so on and so forth, they can intermingle and intermatch quite a bit. So what you'll do is you'll get let's say that you are going to, let's say that there's, let's go with our salesman idea. Somebody's come to your door and they're trying to pressure sales you in it, it's Kenny Brooks, and he's trying to pressure sale you into buying some of this, cleaner that's so great, and you're trying to like politely get him to go away. So I'll say that. So we're just doing this to practice a role. This is not like happening in the
Yeah.
I'm
story.
gonna go use the restroom real quick because I do know this part.
Yeah.
So you can teach Amy.
You don't exactly know this part, but if you got to go, you got to go.
I gotta go.
So get it done.
Nature's calling.
That's right. So I think for this situation, you are looking at. So you're trying to kind of get him to leave, but you're trying to withstand what he's doing. So I'm going to say that this is a composure roll because you're trying to like suck it up. So get a number of dice equal to your composure rating. You go ahead and dump them all out because you're going to use them. Okay. And then you're going to get a number of dice equal to your persuasion rating as you try to subtly let this guy know that I don't want to buy any of your stuff, Kenny Brooks. But he's so funny,
You want him to piss off.
yeah, that you just find yourself enticed by his Madonna jokes. And
He doesn't love a good Madonna joke.
this guy's really good too. That's why we're rolling as opposed to you just shutting the door in his face. So
Okay.
you're going to roll a number of dice equal to those two skills, and you're going to roll them all at once, and you're going to see how many of them come up a 6 or higher.
0 is 10, by the way.
0 is a 10. Okay, how many
2.
came up 6 or higher?
2. A
2.
0 and a 6.
You got a 0 and a 6.
So a 10 and a 6.
So anytime one of those dice comes up 6 or higher, we call that a success. So you have 2 successes on that roll.
Okay.
Typically, you need 3 successes to complete something efficiently.
Okay.
Achieving less successes than 3, typically, every once in a while, you might encounter something that's easier that requires less successes, but usually it involves either outright failure or some kind of mitigated success.
Okay.
In this situation, you have managed to you don't manage to get rid of him, but you do tell him that you're not gonna buy anything.
Yeah.
So he's switched gears into trying to get you to take his brochure and share it with your friends and your family. Before you can get, and you have to agree to that before you get away with getting him to go away.
Fate worse than dead.
Right, no big deal. Why don't you take your 6 and flip it to a 10? Okay, let's say that's what you rolled. Whenever you roll 2 10s together, those 2 10s are worth 4 successes instead of just 2.
Okay.
So now you have not purchased anything from him. You have not agreed to share his pamphlets with your friends and family. And you have convinced your housemate or spouse to record his entire routine because it's so funny. And you're going to put it on YouTube and we'll watch it later.
Okay.
Okay, now turn both of those dice to 5s. Or like 5, if
Or less.
anything 5 or less.
Okay.
Okay, so you got no successes,
Yeah.
and this guy is just driving you nuts because he started over on his routine, and you've already heard this joke, and you're sick of it, and you don't like this sucks, and you're like, Alan, please help me. So I'm like, I'm not going to help you at all because it's a vampire and this is all about your suffering, but you can help yourself. And what you can do is you can look at your willpower down there and look at your open boxes of willpower. You could check off one of those willpower boxes, put a little slash through it.
Yeah.
And what that would allow you to do is re-roll 3 of your dice.
Okay, but you're limited then because you can only do it.
You can only do it so many times.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So in theory, let's say you check, you're not actually checking one off because we're not going to take it away from you.
Yeah.
But say you did that, you get to reroll three, see what you get, and then we're going to review because Tosh is back.
Sorry.
It's no big deal. You got to do what you got to do. You got one success, two
I got
success.
a 9 and a 6.
You got two successes. All right, now you're back to buying picking up the brochure.
Okay.
Okay, so Kenny Brooks has come to your house and he's trying to sell you cleaner.
Yeah.
So you're rolling composure and your
Nice.
persuasion.
Composure.
So I need to, is there a restroom?
Yeah. Right
Oh,
in
now
there.
we're flip flopping now. So
Yeah.
much for
It's,
review.
it's right in there, and it says toilet on it.
Okay. I think I can figure it out.
Yeah. I found the sign at Michael's. I was like, I'm getting this.
Now
for
does
you
it say
guys.
toilet or like toilet?
No, it
I
says
used
toilet.
to.
Okay.
I used to always say
That means you're
people
not
when they ask for
pretentious.
The restroom
No.
is the one with the toilet in it.
Yeah. No, and that's
And
why
so,
I bought
yeah,
it.
that's why that is on there.
I would love to get
Okay.
one that said toilet.
Oh.
Toilet.
No, wait. Toilet épée. And then have the ride the lightning with the toilet with the sword.
Yes.
Toilet
So you
sword.
said composure and persuasion.
Persuasion.
Okay.
And you're looking for 6 or higher every time.
7, 8, 1, 4.
Okay. I know you're used to reading them out, and I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
sorry.
I work with that very well. You're looking for 6 or higher every time. The
Okay.
difficulty will never change.
Got it. 2.
You got 2 successes. Did you roll any 10s?
No.
Okay.
Do those? Do you roll
No,
up? No.
just
Okay.
turn 2 of your dice to 10s.
Okay.
Okay. When you have 2 10s together like that, those 2 10s become 4 successes.
Got it. Okay. So if I had rolled this, this would have been 6.
I don't know. What do you got?
Because I had 8 and 7, and then the 2 10s. So that would have been. You said that's 4
That's 6.
plus 2, 6.
That would
okay.
become 6 successes.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every
Now-
pair of tens is 2 successes.
Now, if
Got
you
it.
roll all your dice and don't get any, well, pardon me, I got to run back. So most of the time in this game, the difficulty is going to be 3. You need 3 successes to succeed at something
Got it.
completely.
That's the difference.
Okay.
If you get less than 3 successes, you either fail or you have some kind of mitigated success.
Okay.
So the example I told her was with 2 successes, you don't like you agree not to buy anything, but the guy spends another like 10 minutes standing at
At
your
the front
door,
door.
getting you to take flyers to give to your friends and neighbors.
Got it. Okay.
Right. So
Okay.
you sort of succeeded, but you didn't
you
get
didn't.
to like he's running you down.
Got
Wasted
it.
you some time.
Wasted your time. He probably
Okay.
sucked
You
your
didn't get to
whatever.
slam the door in
Right.
his face. Got it. Okay. Amy, if you need water, there's cups to the right of
Yeah, I
the
was,
refrigerator.
I was just gonna get some ice to put my soda in.
Yeah, just right there. Yep. Any of those giant jars that she probably can't reach because we're tall people.
Okay, I'll use one of these.
That one's
Oh,
good.
you got it? Okay.
Whereas
No, you're fine.
with 6 successes, you might be able to flip the whole script and sell him,
Something.
something from your Lulu, whatever collection.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Okay. So we want 3 or more.
You bought
successes.
$5 worth of stuff and got him to spend $90 on
Yeah, on something. Okay.
something. I don't
Okay.
know. But that's not the point. It's just you do better.
But just
If
have
you,
at least
you want to get
3.
3.
Got it.
Sometimes it's lower. Sometimes.
But most
But
of the
most
time,
of the time it's 3.
But it's always 6 or higher.
It's always 6 or higher.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, if you roll your dice and you get no successes, oh my god, I hate my life, no successes.
Yeah.
What you can do is you can spend a point of willpower to re-roll up to 3 of your dice.
Ah. Okay.
I'm not sure which of you to ask, but where did you get your beaters holder?
Oh.
Or what now?
The little plastic thing that your beaters
came,
go in?
It came
came
with
with
it.
it.
We bought. We found
Yeah,
it
it
at HEB.
attaches to the thing as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it clicks in. So you put all the tools
Oh,
in it,
yeah.
and
And
then
you
you just
just-
click it, and you put the cord
Yeah.
in there, and it clicks together. I think it was HEB for like $12 or something, 14 something.
Cool. Okay, sorry to interrupt.
No, that's no big deal.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
How dare you ask
Okay.
us about such deeply personal things?
So the
I
difference
overstepped.
between this game and the other game, though, is sometimes you will need to roll your willpower. And when you roll your willpower, you roll the number of boxes that are unchecked.
Got it.
If you run out of willpower, like just like in the other game, like when messed up stuff happens to you, you can lose. You have to spend points of willpower.
Yeah.
If you lose all your willpower, you can become impaired.
Okay.
You can eat. So technically, your willpower is like a mental damage track.
That happened to
Got
me.
it. Okay.
Yes. So you don't have just a physical damage track, you have
Yeah.
a mental damage track. And
Got
if you
it.
get into certain social situations with people, there are characters that are skilled enough to cause mental damage to you.
Okay.
There are even some situations like, horrific, government research torture
Yeah.
techniques that can cause you to take not just normal aggravated normal mental damage, but aggravated mental damage,
Yeah.
which can give you like permanent derangements and stuff like that as
Okay.
well.
Okay.
So just like you could take aggravated damage in the other game physically, you can take
Uh-huh.
aggravated damage in this game.
Got it. Okay.
You can also take aggravated damage morally
Yeah. Okay.
To your humanity.
to your humanity.
Got it. Well, I am a lawyer. I'm pretty sure it'll.
I think our humanity should be lower.
It
than
should-
ours.
it should
So,
be
so the last thing that your characters will need is a name.
Okay.
Yes, last time? I think it may have been the week before when we played. I actually ran out of willpower and spent the rest of the night laying on the ground, huddled in a fetal position, slicing my wrists open so I could bleed on the ground and listen to what the voices in the blood told me.
Awesome.
Because,
He's
Well,
not
'cause-
These are
Yeah.
the people you're trying to help.
yeah.
You don't have to explain that. It's clear.
because he's not.
It's exactly what happened. That's
That's
it.
exactly what happened.
I'm not nuts.
No, you're nuts.
Oh, you are nuts.
You got a name?
Constantine.
Nice.
I don't have a last name yet. I'm thinking about it.
I think that Constantine should be the last name.
You would.
Constance team.
You're a teen named Constance. Istanbul. Constantinople. Sorry.
I know that's only right.
That's the other game.
It's Constantinople.
Well, the
You don't
other-
know where
The other one was in Istanbul, right?
did
Or
that. Constantinople.
Constantinople. Yeah.
Yes.
No.
That game is epic, and we'll continue it eventually.
Yes.
And should you take to this like a duck to water, you'll be playing it with us.
Rock on.
Hopefully sooner rather than later.
Do you got a name?
Mm-hmm.
What's your name?
Violet. Ford.
Violet Ford. Okay. Another good thing to have for this game is one distinct feature. Just like something about you that lets us begin to imagine what your character looks like. What's your one distinct feature, Ray?
Ray's one distinct feature is he's the palest Indian you've ever seen.
Okay.
Pablo
And all,
generally.
and all Jake over here is swollen a swoop.
Yeah.
Swole swoot.
He's swollen a swoop.
He told you he runs the, but do you think he just is the bouncer?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
No idea. Okay.
Pablo, on top of being young, looks very androgynous generally,
Okay.
as long as you're seeing his public face,
Got it.
Which you will be seeing.
for the most part.
So a little bit of background on what you're dealing with. We'll kind of play it by ear and figure out as we play how it is that you guys became enamored with your, lords and how they kind of got you into what you're doing. But we'll work on that as we go. And you should know that they did tell you a little bit about what they call kindred society. That's the word they use for themselves. That their society is formed. It's kind of pseudo feudal in how it's put together, and there's several different what they call clans or families of kindred, and they have different attributes and outlooks
I was looking through the different.
depending on the clan.
Clan.
The clan of your master is Clan Malkavian. The Clan Malkavian is noted for a predilection for mental illness and a predilection for insight.
Okay.
Unnatural insight.
Both
And-
fit me pretty well.
Yes, and Dr. Pedroza is a fantastic example of this. He is totally brilliant in his insights and things he comes up with from time to time, but he goes into these melancholy, manic, depressive phases that just
Oh, he's
are
like my dad.
completely nuts.
I know this guy. Okay. Okay.
And your lord is of Clan Ventru,
Okay.
which is a clan of nobility and kingship and leaders, and he views himself like a team leader. He, wants to get to know all the different people that are in his team and how they work, and then find the best way to get them all to work together and to inspire them. Some things have changed in what he is dealing with, and at once he was very hands-on with the Watchmen and was really up in there and helping them hand to hand. Now he's he hasn't told you the details, but he told you that he doesn't have as much time to spend on that, so he has gotten you involved and sent you in to kind of be his intermediary and help him with that stuff. He has also given you a flash drive to give to the group.
Okay.
So the group that the Watchmen are dealing with is not just the way that it's publicly talked about is that they're a government organization, but behind closed doors in private spaces, these guys will reveal to you that this is not just like a government thing, that there is a conspiracy within the U.S. government that involves FBI, CIA, NSA, and the Catholic Church. And that what they are doing is they are privately funding and executing hunts against kindred. And they are backed by the church, secretly by the Vatican, and that they are a second inquisition against the kindred kind.
Okay.
And that they're all over the campus of University of Toledo, because there was a snafu several months ago, 7 months ago. There was a series of killings that were very suspicious and involved people, according to public media reports. Somebody was stabbing somebody with a barbecue fork and then hanging them upside down and draining all their blood and running away with it and flushing it down the toilet or something like that. Reports are unclear. And then there was also a fight, or not a fight, but a fire that broke out in one of the dorms. And there was somebody who was shoved out of the dorm and got killed, and there was other people who were burned alive, and there was other people who had all this, smoke inhalation problems. And ever since that time, the Inquisition has just been all over the campus. The campus would be an amazing hunting territory for kindred. Most kindred, especially kindred that you guys affiliate with, hunt in a relatively passive way. They aspire not to kill people. They, want to keep people alive. They want to keep people, they tend to generally like people and they don't want to stick out, and they don't want to be a big problem for society and whatnot. They want to go along and get along. And that would be a great place to do it, because you could go around and just drink your blood, and it's not a big deal, and no harm, no foul. You also know that having your blood drank, because you have both definitely had your blood drank,
Well, yeah.
is fantastic. It's amazing. It is great having your blood drank. It is just the best thing. So they're not even like really hurting people.
Yeah.
It is a special sensation.
Yes. So that pretty much completes the character creation and a little bit of background for the characters.
And with that, I'll stop the recording.
We can stop that recording and begin the other.